Hi there, in this video we're going to go through and replace this footage here where the camera goes out of focus and the world is ending because we've lost that shot, and we're going to cover it up with some B-roll and add some interesting kind of file footage like this. Have we fixed it? Not really, we've just covered it up, but that is the role of B-roll. Okay, so what is B-roll? B-roll is what we use to hide maybe imperfection. You can see in this video here, the talking head 3, I go in and out of focus a couple of times. About there, where is it?
Beginners, there is no need.
You can see there, I go out of focus, my camera loses focus, and it happens at the end again here, okay, unfortunately. And yeah, there's no way of sharpening that up. Okay, it just loses its focus. It might be that, I don't know, somebody walks past the camera, or you might actually just have a bit where the audio is good until a certain point, but then the person loses focus and then you have to, then they start again. So you have to kind of cut up the audio, but the video obviously doesn't make sense because it's kind of a bit of a jump between it. So what we're going to do is hide it all under some B-roll. Now B-roll can be anything. In my case, it's going to be product shots or stuff we're doing in the course. Yours could be shots of the building or the product being used or anything else. Okay, it might be some stock library footage that you put over it. Anything. This is A-roll, okay, because it's the good stuff, but B-roll is the filler stuff or the hiding stuff. So the first thing that I want to do is these two are separate. I want to keep the audio but not the video, but they're stuck together. You can right click them, okay, and go to this one that says unlink, and that unlinks both the audio and video. With the video selected, delete on your keyboard, so it's gone. So it gets to here.
Graphic design. Now this course...
So audio carries on, and you could maybe do some audio edits here, just like we did in the last video where we used the dragging or the razor tool just to cut out ums and ahs. And now we're going to cover it in B-roll. Let's bring in some B-roll. Let's go to File Import. Actually, File Import is a way. What I tend to do is double click this gray area down the bottom here. Okay, that opens up Import as well. And we'll go into our exercise files and let's bring in these 3 B-roll options. Okay, so footage 1, 2, and 3. Click Import. Now let's just check what one of these are. Remember, if you double click them down here, they open up. Okay, double click the icon, they open up in this left-hand side, the source window, remember the preview window, and you can just grab the playhead and just kind of see what's going on in here. Okay, so I want to bring it in and yeah, use this as a kind of a cover for my audio. So to bring it in, I'm going to, you can drag it from here, drag it across, okay, like we did earlier, or if it's up in the source window, you can just drag it down from over here. Okay, it's up to you, just drag straight from the center there. Great, so he's there. I'm gonna add another bit afterwards. Now the difference between this B-roll and this B-roll is, can you see the icons here? Okay, you can see this one has video but no audio, but this one here has audio as well. Okay, you just sometimes get footage if it's from a stock library site and it might not have any audio. On this one here, it does, and I don't want it because if I double click it, the audio actually, I'm not even sure what the audio does. There's nothing really in it, okay? But sometimes MP4s just have it even though they don't have anything on the audio track. The trouble is when I drag it across here, watch, can you see it brings both the audio and the video? And watch this, if I dump it over the top, you can see it's kind of covered, watch.
Beginner.
When I say watch, I mean listen. It's actually removed my audio and replaced it with the B-roll audio. So this happens quite a bit. So a couple of options is I can double click it, opens in the source window, and you can see there's my audio and there's my video. I can just drag down the video track. Okay, so it's just kind of separated them for me. Or what you might do is do it caveman style, is add it just a bit further along down here. Okay, zoom out a little bit, right click, unlink, bin the bottom guy, and drag him back across. Up to you how you want to do it. Now, this bit takes too long, so I'm going to do some basic editing for this. I'm going to drag screen footage 3 on. What I need it to do is actually cut down so it fits just above this into kind of like 3 parts. So what I want you to do is pause the video, go through, do some editing just so that these 3 are no longer than the end of our audio here. I'm going to do it. Okay, you can go off and do it. I'm going to do it as well. You can follow me. I'm going to zoom a little bit. This one seems long. I'm just going to preview it along.
This course is for complete.
That looks good. And I'm just going to maybe drag it in a little bit. Okay. This bit here, scrub through. Okay, looks good. And then kind of finishes about there. So there's nothing much happens after there. So there you go. And this last one just keeps on scrolling. So there's a bit at the beginning where it doesn't do anything. So maybe I'll trim that end off. This is totally up to you now. This is your creative B-roll editing amazingness. Okay, so I'm gonna play it all the way through.
Graphic design. Now this course is for complete beginners. There is no need for any experience in InDesign or graphic design or desktop publishing before.
So what did I do to get these B-roll? Okay, first of all, I like it, it's fine. My B-roll edits, they work out fine. Where did I get it from? I just recorded my screen, okay, and did some stuff that seemed interesting. That's an easy way to make B-roll. It might be that you grab your video camera that you've shot maybe your Head and Shoulders on and walk around the building. Okay, if they're talking about the new project you're working on and they're gonna install the new, I don't know, power regulator, go film the power regulator. It's quite cool, okay? Makes for good, interesting B-roll for the viewer, and it allows you to hide imperfections in the video, or at least sex it up to make it a little bit more interesting. Easy B-rolls are like the front of the building that you're working from, okay? Or, I don't know, the guy at his desk doing something else, okay? So yeah, find B-roll. Chop it up. And what I'd like to do though is I'm going to zoom mine in because I'm seeing all the stuff around the outside in the dock. So we're going to learn a little bit of scaling. So make sure your playhead's over this first bit of B-roll. And this is remember our preview window called the source window. This has multiple functions. Okay, it's kind of up the top here. You can see source. This is my B-roll. There's also this effects one. So I'm going to click on that. So you can toggle between these two. That might get you lost at some stage, okay? So if you're up here and it's on effects and you're like, oh, what happened to the preview window? There it is there. Okay, so effects controls. What that allows me to do is if I have B-roll selected down here, you have to actually highlight it. You can see you have some basic effects you can do to it. What I want to do is see this little arrow here, twirl it down. Okay, this guy here allows me to do scale. And all I'm going to do is click, hold, and drag. You can drag it left and right. Okay, or you can just type it in. I'm going to drag it so I'm kind of there. I'm dragging the position up. So that's what I'm doing with my B-roll, just to kind of make it, I don't know. So just
now this course is...
I still probably don't want to see those sides. Maybe something like that. Scale it up a little more. Again, this is your creative awesomeness. Yeah, I like that. Cool.
The course is for...
Great, so we're going to do it for all of these. I'm going to scale this one up and maybe have a bit more of an abstract kind of zoom in like that. I want to see that guy's face though. Cool. There we go. Almost see the spreads. Cool. That looks nice. And this one here, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit as well. Click on it over here first. Okay. Otherwise it won't work. There we go there. So play it through again.
For complete beginners. There is no need for any experience in InDesign or graphic design or desktop publishing before.
Cool. That works. All right, so that is how to work with B-roll. We're going to do some color correction later on in the course, but often video, you can only do some basic like fixing or tweaks. You can't go off and you couldn't sharpen that footage that had that kind of blur going in and out too hard. Okay, but there's some cool things we can do with some color correction. So we'll do that in a later tutorial. For now though, one of our biggest problems is they're called jump cuts is what we've got. At the moment, they just go from one and just kind of slap into the other one. Okay, it's just a cut. And you go, and you see it just kind of like jumps across. So we're gonna look at transitions in the next video. So let's go and do that now.